wasn't a delay there. How are we all, folks? Welcome back to the Big Rainbow Variety Stream. And what about that? A special surprise from the one and only Cheryl Hall. Yeah. No idea what we had to do to get that, I can tell you. But yeah, let's have a wee look over on the Twitter feeds, shall we? See what's going on. This is a lockdown win. We're in Huddersfield via the fabulous North Coast. If you weren't online, we wouldn't be here. Yeah. How are we all? Keeping well, folks? Let's have a wee look to see what else we've got. There's Gary Duffy, one of our performers tonight, bragging that he was on here. What a brilliant song by Gary. Of course, he's got a brand new track out there this week, so be sure to check that out. There's Eamon and Jared rubbing it all in your faces once again that they have been mentioned. I expect a follow-up post now from that. There is the fantastic Vic there, all dragged up for Rainbow Variety. Good stuff. Amazing film by the only Sassy. Oh, there's a fantastic one. Wives who play together, stay together. What a fantastic performance from Unsung Lily. Absolutely fantastic. Huge fans. Everyone's still obsessed with these alleyways. Most of this stream is about... I think the biggest star of tonight's show has been the alleyways of Belfast. Perhaps that's a follow-up. Could we do Tony Christie, Avenues and Alleyways? Maybe perhaps that could be a follow-up for you guys. Let's have a wee look then, shall we, at what Darren's latest tunes were. If you just bear with me till I pull it up on my lovely technological device. Bear with me, I'm having signal issues. Don't forget also, our target tonight is actually 3,500, which is amazing. We're currently at 78% of our target. And we're 3/4 of the way through our show, which means we're bang on for meeting our target, guys. So you have done fantastically well tonight. So big round of applause from all of us, which is 2 of us because it's COVID, but all of us sounds better, doesn't it? Is everyone all right down the back? 2 meters, folks, 2 meters. Put your masks on, wash your hands, you filthy beasts. Okay, the answers to the musicals Name That Tune round is as follows. Number 1 was Phantom of the Opera, or Phanto of the Operette, as some have answered previously. Waving Through a Window, Go, 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 3 goes, Go, Joseph. Joseph, by the way, is my favourite musical. I once had to stage manage a run of Joseph for a fortnight. And the guys in the cans ended up screaming at me because I sang every single word every single night. That was followed by You'll Be Back, Hamilton. She Used to Be Mine. I Dreamed a Dream, Les Mis. I'm going to get hated for this, but I think it's the most miserable thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm sorry, but it is. Now is not a good time to watch Les Mis. Like, we've had terrible 12 months. Do not watch Les Mis tomorrow. Watch something really uplifting. Like Babe. No, don't watch Babe, actually. That's a bad one at the end. After I Dreamed a Dream was Jesus Christ Superstar. Personal friend of mine. Seems to be everywhere. America from West Side Story. I Know Him So Well. Can you... You know who you are. You're watching. Can You Feel the Love Tonight? He could that night. As If We'd Never Said Goodbye. Defying Gravity. And Somewhere Over the Rainbow. And finally, The Sound of Music for The Hills Are Alive With the Sound of Music. Well, folks, as I say, we're, roughly 75% through our actual show. We are currently sitting at, 78% of our target. So, yeah, we're well on our way there. We're not done yet. We've had a couple of issues, obviously, on the FB. I'm going to make that stand for something else, but I can't say it. So watch on YouTube and Twitch. Be sure to tell everybody else to have a wee look. Keep hitting us on the variety streams. Keep using the hashtag. We're loving the comments coming through. We're loving the comments coming through on the other channels. It's been fantastic. And let's find out what's still to come.
Hello, my name is Leo Lardy. I am a transgender man and a stand-up comic, and I like to let people know that as soon as possible because everyone will always say to me, Leo, that's a really cool name, and I can't help myself but saying, thanks, I picked it myself. I, I need them to know that I am a stand-up comic and transgender and also the kind of caliber of comedy they're going to get with me. I feel like it's a great early warning system. Speaking of early warning systems, as your probably only transgender stand-up comic for tonight, this is your early warning. If you are watching this with your friends, your family, your loved ones, your partner, remember you have to laugh the loudest or you'll lose crucial woke points with your mate. I don't make the rules. You gotta laugh. You just gotta laugh. Some people think that because I'm a transgender man, that maybe don't I wish I'd just been born a boy? Don't I wish I'd just been a cisgender man instead? And that couldn't be further from the truth. I am incredibly happy and proud to be transgender, if only because it meant I got to dodge being named Philip, which is definitely no shade to people who are called Philip. It is a fine name, but no one ever looks at me and thinks, like, the reason my mom wanted to call me Philip was after Phil Lynott, like Ireland's sexiest export. That's such a cool reason to be called Philip. But no one would ever have looked at me and gone, oh yeah, Philip, like Phil Lynott. More like fucking Phil Mitchell. So I'll maybe, you know, the fact that I am so incredibly hairy, you might even think Philatides, like the man from Disney. Definitely not as cool. So I picked Leo, and I picked Leo as a name before I came out to my parents, probably again to avoid being called Philip. Some transgender people, we pick our new name based on the first initial of our old name. So someone who's a John might become a Jennifer. Some trans people get their parents to help them pick their new name. And some trans people like me just Google good names for golden Labradors and go with the first result. I came out to my parents and my mum, and they were always so remarkably cool with me being trans, especially my mom, who was like my earliest and biggest cheerleader in the family. She never complained except for once. Only one time did she complain. And that's because she went to the hairdresser and she was talking about her family, my sister Christine, and her son Leo. And she felt really embarrassed because she was like, that hairdresser is going to know that I didn't pick that name for you. That's way too cool and trendy name. I would have picked something good like Philip. So my mom was really annoyed about that, and she felt that the hairdresser was either going to think that, you know, one, she had a midlife crisis when I was born, or two, I'm trans and I picked that name myself. And she did say, you know, both of those things may be true, Leo, but I don't want to start a first impression with those. So I did interject immediately and say, oh, you know, you could call me Leonard if you want. She just shot back, fuck up. Fuck up. So I realized that when I needed to change my name legally, that I also had a middle name I'd forgotten about that needed changed. Because I doubt the Gender Identity Clinic would be very happy with me being Leo Maureen Lardy. So I asked my mom and my dad to get in on this and to help me pick my new middle name. And they very democratically decided to write a list of names each, shove them into one column, and then I picked the best name to be my new middle name. I could see right off the bat, Mom had her own thoughts because Philip was at the very top of the list. Although Dad clearly did not get the memo about trendy, cool names being a dead giveaway that I am transgender, because he legitimately wanted me to be called Leo Hannibal Lardy. Not only does that tell people that I am a transgender man, but it also tells people that I ran a Tumblr fan fiction account where I shipped Will Graham and Hannibal Lecter. Again, both of those things may be true, but not exactly something I want to start a first impression off with. I don't know why I care so much about first impressions, because cisgender people, that's people who are not blessed to be trans like me, they don't seem to care about the first impression they leave on me. When I first started transitioning, and it was maybe a bit more obvious that I wasn't always male, within seconds of meeting me and figuring out I was trans, I often had taxi drivers saying things like, "So, do you still have sex like a girl then?" And I thought, well, that's an interesting question. No, not really, because not like any girl you've had sex with for sure. Because I actually intend to enjoy the sex that I have, and it seems that might be out of your class range. Also, I am a bloke, so no. Sometimes they might ask a slightly more reasonable, if still a bit insane question of when did you decide to become a boy? I could probably answer that question. I know I've spent the last 5 years desperately trying to answer that question, but I certainly don't think I could answer it in the 10 minutes it takes for me to get from work to home. Just for reference, this set is almost 10 minutes long, and so far we've just chatted about my name, so I'm not going So you end up saying daft things like, I don't know what they want you to say, but I always end up saying things like, "Oh, well, I was at a party in 2015 and I was hanging out with some girls, and these girls were talking about their lived experience as women. They were talking about misogyny, sexism, and how it affected them. And I just swannied over and said, can I play devil's advocate for a moment here?" And I immediately got a text message from the trans mafia saying, "Your penis will arrive." Still haven't received it, but it's fucking COVID. Like, you can't blame the post service. I actually finished my transition about 2 years ago. I got top surgery in Poland. I had to get top surgery in Poland because my NHS top surgery was put on indefinite hiatus, which, by the way, is just a fancy word for cancelled. So I chose to go to Poland. I could say I chose Poland because I love the food, the people, the culture. But in actuality, it's because, just like my dad, I fucking loves a bargain. And it was the cheapest option. To Poland we went. When you go for top surgery, you have to arrive at the hospital 2 hours before you're due in surgery. This is to meet your surgeon for the third and final time, to get measured up for any adjustments, to meet your anesthesiologist, and essentially sign your life away. But for me, the most time I spent in these 2 hours before I prepped for surgery was spent trying to dry shave my incredibly hairy chest with a woefully inadequate razor in the sink. One might liken it to trying to take down the entire Amazon rainforest with a fucking spoon. I had imagined, moments before top surgery that I would be a bundle of nerves, that I'd maybe be frightened or even have some last minute doubts. But I had a really crystal clear moment of realization where I was like, it's happening. I'm here and I'm ready. And that was just such a surprise to me that I was just ready. I don't know why I was surprised. I've been waiting 4 years for this, but I was surprised that I was doing so well. And I remember sitting back and looking at my loved ones as they were kind of happily chatting away and thinking, this is great. This is actually happening. Another thought follows shortly after the first, maybe a little bit less interesting, but it was, I think I kind of need to pee. And literally right on cue as I have that thought, the nurse arrives in the hospital room and says, "Mr. Leo, we're ready for you in surgery now." And instead of saying, like a normal human being would, "Could you literally wait just a second so I can go pee?" I just thought, fuck it, and went with her. Now, every second step I took, I realized what a colossal fucking error I had made. I really, really, really gotta pee. I gotta go now. And I'm desperately trying to form this sentence and say, I gotta go, I gotta pee. I'm already on top of the surgery table with my surgeon leaning over me. It is kind of comforting to know that no matter what happens, I would rather die than slightly inconvenience someone at all. So I'm lying on top of this surgery table and the surgeon's getting ready to put me good night. And I remember having another crystal clear moment of realization, maybe a little bit less life altering than the first moments ago in the hospital. But I think to myself, this surgery is 4 to 6 hours long. If I piss myself, it's kind of their problem, isn't it? It's not my problem anymore. It's not my problem. So the surgeon leans over me and puts the anesthesia mask on my face and says something really kind and sweet, which is, try to think of something nice when you drift off to sleep. I think it helps people recover better. Such a sweet and kind thing to say. He's very indicative of the kind of person he was. But I'm fucking completely struck with panic because the only thing I can think of is fucking Niagara Falls. I spent 2 years preparing for this moment, but I never thought I would be preparing with this issue at all. I wake up 4 hours later in the recovery room. I am groggily pulling at my compression shirt to take a look. If you don't want to know what a compression shirt is, it's like a short kind of elasticated binder. If you don't know what a binder is, imagine something that Trinity or Neo would wear in the Matrix to that cave rave they went to, and you're kind of on the right money. I'm pulling, remember, I'm really high on medication. I'm pulling away at this shirt. I need to confirm that they didn't accidentally leave the right tip behind for a gag. Good. It's all there. And by all there, I mean it's not there. It's all flat. It's fabulous. And I had thought, I imagined what I'd feel like, moments after I got this surgery. I've been waiting my whole life for, at least that's how it felt. I thought I'd be like tearfully overcome with joy, but I only had one thing on my mind as the nurse came over to me to slap my hand away from my new surgery scars, bad idea, and say, Leo, nope, don't do that. Is there something I can help you with? And I said, with absolutely no volume control whatsoever, oh, fuck, I'm busting for a piss, love. I'm busting for a piss. Now, bear in mind, I'm in Poland, so this Polish nurse, English is not her first language, right? I doubt whacked out Belfast is her third. And some reason the medication has made me more Belfast than I'll ever be in my entire life. I'm fucking busting for a piss, love. You've got to fucking help me. So I watched the nurse for a moment as I see the literal buffering symbol above her face, like, she realizes what I'm on about, and she shoves a commode under my butt to relieve myself. Now, I don't want to brag. This is not my first time at the rodeo. I've used a commode before, but never lying down, never ever lying down. And no matter how much I want to, how much I need to, I cannot pee. I think that subconsciously I'm worried that if I start to pee, lying down, that it'll just jet stream horizontally in front of me and just wipe out the entire nurse section of this Polish hospital, and I'll never be allowed back in Poland again. So I just wait. I can't. I just wait there. I'm like, oh, I'm peeing. People talk about getting top surgery being painful. The need for busting for a piss for 6 hours, worse. Definitely worse. So they wheel me back into my hospital room an hour or so later, and my mum is there. I don't think my friends and family are allowed in yet, but my mum is my mum, and neither hell nor high water will stop her being where I am right now. So I turn to her as any, son would do and be like, Mum, you've got to help me. I fucking need to go. I need to pee so badly. I can't go on the commode. I can't go lying down. I need to go to the bathroom like a civilized person would. It's all right. It's all right. So my mum goes and jumps into action and negotiates with the nurses that I can use the bathroom in the hospital room as long as she's there with me. So I get sort of waddled over to the toilet with 2 nurses helping me up and a very nervous mum overseeing the whole operation. I'm in the bathroom. Mum closes the door, turns away from me to give me some privacy. I'm on the toilet. It's now time for the best pee of my life, but it's still not happening. I think that my bladder is aware that the nurses are like literally leaning into the door, just making sure that I don't fall over and drown in the toilet somehow. So I turn to my mum, still whacked out and still very Belfast. Love, will you turn the taps on, love? I need to pee and I can't do it with no noise. Will you turn on the taps? Aye. So she turns on the taps, and this is where my memory cuts out. I don't even have the joy of remembering how great that piss must have felt. My memory just goes. I wake up and I'm in my hospital bed, in my hospital room with my mum sitting next to me. And I turn and look at her and I see she's smiling, but she's also got tears in her eyes. And it suddenly dawns on me how difficult this ordeal must have been for her, not just me. And I want to comfort her. And I'm immediately like, Mum, it's okay. I'm all right. I'm all right. You okay? It's all grand. She looks at me and she smiles. Leo, you silly bastard. Do you know what happened when you went to the bathroom? No. What happened? Well, son, it seems that some goat man who had a really hairy chest tried to shave their hair in the sink and block the sink. So when I turned on the taps, the sink flooded, and then the bathroom floor flooded, and then the hospital room flooded, and the nurses had to get an entire tree's worth of paper towels to get a pathway for you to get back to your hospital bed. And I'm like, right. And I rested easy in the knowledge that even the most life-changing of moments can be mined for hilarious stand-up comedy. And that is me. Thank you so much, everybody. Donate! Donate now!
Hi, I'm Emer and I'm the Western Health and Wellbeing Officer and I work out of our dairy office. Even though there are laws and legislations in place to protect LGBT people, there's still a lot of work to do to challenge the everyday prejudices and biases that LGBT people face in our everyday society. These challenges are some of the reasons that LGBT people feel reluctant or frightened to come out, which can lead to social isolation. Social isolation mixed with the COVID-19 pandemic has meant that some LGBT people are living a double lockdown at the minute. We've tried to bridge this gap with our services, moving a lot of them online or remote. So we're spending a lot more time on the phone, we're spending a lot of time on Zoom, and spending even more time on social media, engaging directly with our service users. And while we're grateful for this engagement, we really do miss our centres and our face-to-face engagement. And none of this service would be possible at all without the support of our funders and our donors. So we really, really do urge you, if you can at all, to please support us in any way that you can. It all makes such a massive difference. I'm really looking forward to welcoming everybody back to our dairy office soon. I hope you can all keep safe and enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you so much.
The kind of luck that defies gravity. She's the greatest cook. And she's fat free, fat free, fat free, fat free. To private school, she speaks perfect French. She's got her perfect friends, always on the chic cool. She practices Tai Chi, she'll never lose her nerve. you lose those pounds. Learn about football. If it made you stay. But you won't. But you won't. Don't bother. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Promise you won't ever see me cry. And after all, I'm glad that I'm not your type. Promise you won't ever see me cry. Don't bother. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Promise you won't ever see me cry. And after all, I'm glad that I'm not your type. Not your type. Not your type. Not your type. Promise you won't ever see me cry.